Hey, good afternoon, everyone. Welcome back. I hope that you're sincerely having a fantastic day out there. Whatever you're doing, whether you're sitting at your computer just scrolling through your YouTube feed, or you're out in the garden, you're riding the train. I don't know why those are always the two things my mind goes to, like you're in the garden somewhere. Maybe you're on a flight and you're using the Wi-Fi. Are you supposed to be on airplane mode? Either way, thank you so much for being here, for stopping by, as today we are listening to some Janis Ian. We had listened to the track At 17 from her, which was a really fantastic one, especially lyrically. And now we're going to listen to this particular song entitled Tattoo. This is coming off of the 1992 album, Breaking Silence, which I was trying to figure out where this lied within her discography. This is going to be... She started in 67 with her debut in self-titled. This is coming quite a bit later in 92, so it's quite a distance there. Anyways, we're listening to this track because it was suggested and it was sponsored by Jeff. Jeff, thank you so much for the recommendation. I really appreciate the support as well. Thank you. I see that you said in your comments that while this is not one of her better known songs, it deserves a wider audience and a wider listening to, as it even deals with the Holocaust. So I'm imagining the tattoo was, of course, the tattoos that they were given, some of the Jews and others that were put into the camps and such. So let's go ahead and listen to the track. We will discuss a little bit after. Here we go.
Her new name was tattooed to her wrist. It was longer than the old one. Sealed in the silence with a fist, this night will be a cold one. Centuries live in her eyes. Destiny laughs over jackbooted thighs. Work makes us free, says the sign. Nothing leaves here alive.
Bass and the drums are strong.
Tattoo.
So space on the percussion.
She steps out of line to the left, and her father to the right. One side's a cold, clean death, the other is an endless night. Gold from a grandmother's tooth, mountains of jewelry and toys, piled in the corners, mailed across the borders, presents for the girls and boys, presents for the girls and boys. Tattooed. And it gets darker every night. Spread eagled out among the stars, she says, somewhere in this tunnel lives a light. Still my beating heart. I have never known a man. What man will want me now? Am I still alive somehow? If I can survive somehow. Tattoo. Soldiers from the other side liberated them at dawn. gave her water, gave her life. She still had all her clothes on. She lived until she died, empty as the autumn leaves that fly. Surgeons took the mark, but they could not take it far. It was written on her heart, written on her empty heart, tattooed.
Okay, take the subject matter aside for just a second, just to focus on the musical aspect of this. This is a really subtle and yet intense piece of music. Obviously, the lyrics and theme bring a big part of that into it. But even if you just take that aside for just a brief moment, the production is really sharp on here. And I'm actually kind of curious about who produced this. Jeff Balding. He doesn't have a Wikipedia page at least, but really masterful production because a few things. The guitar. So not only is Janis playing, but you also have Dan Huff playing guitar. Janis is credited with acoustic and electric, and then Dan Huff with electric guitar. The acoustic is soft, subtle, gentle, and yet it's moving with a specific and concentrated intensity, just in the focus and the deliberation of it. It is moving to a certain post, and it's really working its way there. But it does it with a very light step. And there's a certain space that's left for the guitar and for the notes that are playing. But I really noticed it when the drums came in. Drums performed by Jim Brock, and the production on the drums is encompassing. In this kind of spacious and roomy, and yet claustrophobic is too strong of a word, but an intimate way. When the drums and the bass came in, it was a shocking moment because of, just the abruptness of it, but it comes in softly as well. It's just really interesting how that occurred. Let me see if I can find that exact moment really quick here. Of course, I found it exactly. Let me back it up because I didn't mean to talk over it. You hear on the back end of the drum beat, the ba da da ba ba da da ba. My mouth is saying hi-hat, but it's just toms. And I just really like this space and the way that they play in the back of the room. It's really well done. And the production gives it the breadth of the room to play and to have those, the subtlety and those accents. I just think that small thing actually in a track like this makes it, because it gives the track a hollowness, but also a spirit. Now, let's take the theme and bring it back in. There's a hollowness in the horrors and the tragedies and the just sheer, monstrosity of the Holocaust. And, especially in talking about someone going through it. There's a hollowness of humanity when discussing this, but think about going through it, right? Can't even imagine. There's no way. So there's that. But then throughout the track, throughout the verses as it progresses, even eventually into freedom arrives, there's still a resiliency. There's still a hope. And that clearly comes through in the guitar. Whereas in the verse, it plays a little bit more in that kind of hollow, maybe slightly darker, claustrophobic kind of way. Eventually, as it goes on, there's a lifting of that. Let me just see if I can find the second one here. After this, actually. Okay. Here.
Piled in the corners, mailed across the borders, presents for the...
See, it's not like dark and moody. It has this pushing up. It has this struggle to it, but a struggle to survive despite the most monstrous of circumstances. And I think that comes through really nicely in the singing and in the guitar line there. And of course, this build up here. There's that pushing through. And then after that, it goes into a little space.
She said.
Can I tell you? That right there, the guitar that plays there, but also in certain other moments, I think one coming right up here, it plays to me like a train. to me, signaling new arrivals on the train to this specific or unnamed concentration camp. It's those subtle use of details that brings the story to life. And I think that she did this just brilliantly. Let me get to the point after here.
Somewhere
That's after this.
I have never known a man.
Hold on, it's coming. Give it a
What
second.
man will want me now?
That. Okay. Once again, that back guitar is used to create this sort of stress-inducing effect in the music. And the line that she says there, I think is so heartbreaking. Let me pull it back up here really quick. I guess we can kind of we can talk about the whole lyrics at the same time. We might as well do it at the same time. Her new name was tattooed to her wrist. It was longer than the old one. Sealed in the silence with a fist, this night will be a cold one. Centuries live in her eyes. Destiny laughs over jackbooted thighs. Work makes us free, says the sign. Nothing leaves here alive. Okay, straightforward. We know that we're going through the concentration camp right now, and we're going through her mindset. She steps at a line to the left and her father to the right. One side's a cold, clean death. The other is an endless night. Well, obviously that she's survived. We know which one was the cold, clean death. And hers is the endless night. She even mentions that it gets darker and darker every night. And this night doesn't end when they're freed from the camp. Gold from a grandmother's tooth, mountains of jewelry and toys, piled in the corners, mailed across the borders, presents for the girls and boys, tattoo. Gets darker every night, spread eagled out among the stars, she says. Somewhere in this tunnel lives a light, still my beating heart. See, there's still a hope. Somewhere in this tunnel lives a light. Somewhere in this situation, there's a light. And it may not be anywhere, it may not be a bright light, maybe the dimmest light in the stars or in the sky, but it's there. Still my beating heart, I've never known a man. What man will want me now? Am I still alive somehow? If I can survive somehow, tattooed. Can I tell you? I think that here, when she says spread eagled rather out among the stars, and then she's, saying, I've never known a man, but who will want me now? I think that she was raped here. I could be wrong. I don't think I am. I think that that's what happened here. And this even pushes even further this thought. It gets darker every night. Soldiers from the other side liberated them at dawn, gave her water, gave her life. She still had all her clothes on. She lived until she died. Can I tell you that the abruptness, right, that it goes into this line here, the soldiers at the other side, they freed the camp. Great, obviously. Gave her water, gave her life, gave her back freedom in a sense. And I really like this line, she lived until she died. I feel like that almost means two things. The rest of her days, she lived to the fullest, as much as possible. But there's also the starkness of that. She lived until she died. There's an obviousness to it. And it could just mean that she survived until she didn't. Even after attaining physical freedom. Because obviously her heart and her soul was not completely free. As she says, or as the lyrics say, empty as the autumn leaves that fly. Autumn. The autumn leaves, they've fallen off the branch. They're pretty much near death, as autumn in the season represents. Surgeons took the mark. They removed the tattoo, but they could not take it far. It was written on her heart, written on an empty heart, tattooed. So, I view this as she survived physically. She escaped or found her freedom. But that mark was never gone. It could never be removed. How could it? How could it be removed? There was no way. But she did live until she died. So there's a true, in the essence, bittersweet ending to this. And to be honest, it's almost hard to imagine any other way that you could hear this. This was a really, really great track. Musically, obviously theme-wise, fantastically written, very respectful, very strong. But musically, along with it, I think that the music isn't like boring or stuck and being moody. Like, it's wonderful how it accompanies it in such a respectful way, but still just playing very well. And like I said, I totally forgot to mention it. What I was getting to when I had gone back to the lyrics, when that guitar came back in. Let me pull it back up here real quick. Here, such a strong line
What
here.
man will want me now?
That little dialogue of like internal dialogue she has. What man will want me now? After her assault. It's weird because she's in the concentration camp. You would think, and I mean this in the most respectful way, like there's bigger things to worry about. You need to worry about just surviving the next hour, the next day. But it's interesting how her mind went to that. What man will want me now? And obviously incredibly traumatic in all sides. But there's still, I feel like a strength and a resilience and a looking ahead of, I'm going to survive. I'm going to get out of here. And so she's worrying about that problem, that future problem, that she feels at least. I think this is a great song, and it makes me think a little bit. You know, it really makes me think. I have always wanted to visit a concentration camp. I honestly, I don't want to get too big into, things, but I think that ever since the Holocaust, I feel like the world, in a sense, should have gotten together on at least one subject. And I think like everyone should make a trip in some capacity to a concentration camp. Like, I mean, a trip. And like learn about it. Not just from the books, movies, and documentaries, which obviously that's good to at least acknowledge and know it. But I mean, to like go and see it, and maybe that would stop. Maybe that sounds too hopeful. Maybe that would give pause and second guesses to more tragedies and more things like that occurring in the future. That's my hill. I'll stand on that hill. I think that once in someone's lifetime, there should be something like that. I don't know. Maybe it would help in some capacity. Would it solve everything? No, of course not. But maybe it would just give pause and a little bit more thought in some capacity. I don't know. Let me know what you guys. Let me know what you guys thought of it. Of course, in the comments down below. Jeff, thank you so much for the request. I truly appreciate that. I hope that you guys enjoyed it. I hope that you have a fantastic rest of your day. And I will see you all tomorrow. Bye.